Okay, welcome everyone. A few things I want to go over before you start using the algo, because there are customizable settings that are going to be very helpful to you. The first thing we're going to go over, if you don't already have the email, you go to the community. You should be invited to add it to your trade and view on the indicators. You go on the indicator and then you could go on Golden Strategy Algo and add it to your system. First thing we want to go over though, the settings. Then we can go over the time frames on how to use it and how to utilize the strategy best. It does favor, it's made for everyone. If you're a new user, you don't have much trading experience, or you're more of an experienced trader like myself, it works for both. There are settings that's going to help for everyone, but the default setting is on the setting I like to use because it doesn't show exit points, only entry points, because manually setting TPs as well isn't too hard to do. But you want to get the right direction, and the higher the time frame you're on, if you pair it with the lower time frames, you're going to get a better idea on what direction the trade is going, and then you're only kind of looking for confluences to get in at a good point. But firstly, if you don't know, if you click this one here, go on golden algo strategy, and here are the settings. This should be your default. If it's not your default, just change it to this. You have two things. This, and there's only so much I could do on trade and view, but if you have these two turned on as well, just turn them off. Just because this has got extra writing over it, and this just has meaningless numbers. So you can turn those off because you don't need those on. Have it looking like this and go on inputs. So firstly, if we go on, I'm closing everything. Yeah, if we go on here, this is going to change your strategy. This is one. This is the one I prefer because I've had it for months. I've actually had this for a year, but the base model I originally had and made was it only worked for me. Only I could kind of read it. So I've made it user friendly so everyone else who trades, because I find it very helpful, could use it as well. My first year of trading wasn't great. I lost a lot of money, but I've learned a lot of strategies along the way, which made me not a lot more knowledgeable. But adding this into my strategy to give me confidence, because I was usually aiming for 100 or 200 pips, and seeing these moves up, I'm just there slapping myself in the face, like how could I be better to catch moves like this? Why don't I have the confidence to hold trades? Because you see 200-300 pip, you get excited in profit, then you close. Next thing you know, it's up here, and you think, oh, it's pulling back. Is it going to go down here? No, it's going to keep going. You're like, oh, is it going to pull back? I don't know many people who managed to hold this, but if they did, then they're they're a better trader than I will ever be. But yeah, let me get on to this. So firstly, it does have different settings. Higher time frames always work better. Higher time frames always work better. In general, you got more success trading a higher time frame and holding for a while than you do on a lower time frame. But firstly, if I go on this setting here will take you out of trades as well before getting you into a new one. So from here, it took the trade from what, 4,659 round about, and it took you out round here for what, 4,000 pips up. But would you want to take profit here? No, you probably want to take profit here. So you would probably go down to a lower time frame, say, where is it, the 15-minute, to see where it starts reversing and putting in trades. I know it does have this one here where it says it does put in a lot of shorts, but you're really looking for more than a couple shorts next to each other. So put on a short here, put on another short here, and then we finally, this was a news day, so that's why you got the straight down, straight back up. Obviously, you did put in a little buy here as well, but everything after that has been short entry, all the way back down to the long entry. That's one of the settings if you don't always want to look at the screen and it's always in a trade. You have this as well. Back to the 2 hour. This is trend confirmation. So if you want to be a very safe trader and take less risks, it won't make a trade until it passes this trend line. So if I show you how that works, this works quite well on the lower time frames as well. So if I turn this on, and then it takes away because it hasn't broke. So if you start seeing shorts come up, so it's starting to short and get you out of trades, but it hasn't crossed the trend line. So really, it will just keep you in the trade the whole time. So it'll close it here because it's crossed the line. But if you see it manually cross the line, then you could take profit even earlier. And the last one is if for the ones who want to blindly trade and just use the algo, we got this one. So I usually put this on aggressive. It does change the outcomes if you have to put it on conservative, balance, or aggressive, but let's just use aggressive for now. So it's doing the same thing. So it's getting you in long entries, but it's taking profits along the way as well. There are a couple stop losses along the way. You don't manually put stop losses in if you're using this. You literally wait for it to say stop loss, and then you get in a trade again. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, caught somewhere near the top as well. And then you start to see, it takes you out the trade. That was a long there, didn't like that. Probably faked a lot of people out. And then it starts making shorts again. But this is on 2 hour. If you change the time frame again, down to the 15, and then, I mean, this is a lot going on. I mean, I got a lot of look back data here, so it looks kind of crazy. But really and truly, you should really go on the higher time frames. You know, you're talking 4 hours. If you want to use this one, 1 hour, 4 hour, you want to see where it does well in. TP, 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 couple stop losses along the way. There is like a kind of golden zone on the time frame you use for this strategy to get you the best results. But like in trading, you want big wins, and you aim for small losses, and what this one does. But I'm gonna go into the one I like the most. But like I said, play around with it at first. Play around with it, see what you like, see which way and how much risk you are willing to have when you do trade. But one of the key things is that it does work on other things as well. You know, if we go into Bitcoin, if we go into well, we go on anything. If you find the right zone, so it's putting in shorts from 95k, a little long there, but that kind of gets you out of the trade. Then we're back in the trade as well. Okay, and we're going the whole way down. Kind of got you out here, but it says long. Like I said, you could change the settings here if you actually want to know the difference and save trader. But this is designed to catch big moves, and big moves it does catch. One thing I have to mention as well, it doesn't like consolidation areas that much, because you're going to get, when it's consolidating, when it doesn't make up its mind, you're going to get small moves up and down, up and down. It's trying to read which direction it's going to go. But if you're trying to trade in consolidation periods anyway, it's always tricky to do. It's always very tricky to do. And if I was go on Palantir as well, so I'm so zoomed in, it looks kind of crazy. Palantir we caught it short, but very importantly as well, if you look at this part here, this is what other people don't offer, because a lot of people, they offer courses. Some people offer courses on, you know, selling trend lines. You know, they're trying to teach you how to use trend lines and charging you $6,500, which is insane. And I mean, this is a course in itself. Once you kind of figure out how the algo works and you match up the time frames, you know, you're paying $50 compared to someone 6.5 grand, and all they're doing is they'll be drawing lines on the screen. You know, they'll be putting something here, they'll be saying here, which this has it anyway. This is a trend line in itself. And then, well, I'm not going to bother doing all the lines now, but they can't really show you. You can't really backtest trend lines. You know, you can, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But if you go on here, it says automatically. This is the key feature, because if you see this here, if you just traded what we on Palantir, for example, and you're on the 3-hour time frame, you know, you're up 488%. Can you make that better if you blindly followed this, just doing what it's telling you to do? Let's see. So this is always in market reverse mode. If I change it and add this one as well, all right, it keeps it even safer. It gets it up to 522%, and that's if you're only trading Palantir by itself. This works better on the time frames as well. What is this one? I think we're gonna have too much going on here. And there's a lot going on there, right? Let's turn these off. See what this comes up with. 400%. I mean, yeah, okay, it doesn't like that one. But top, if I just do this one. Okay, put these both on and use Palantir. Top trading companies aim for 20, 30% returns. You know, we're getting 522% just off that. And that's the 3 hour. Does it get better on the 2 hour or worse? Okay, a bit worse on the 2 hour. Go on a 4 hour. Okay, it doesn't like the 4 hour. So it won't be. See, this is where you got to play around with it sometimes if you want to double check. 500 there. We go on Bitcoin. We're getting 45% on Bitcoin, but I already know. Get that out of the way. I already know that the daily on the time frame. This looks really unrealistic. I mean, we're getting $15 billion returns with 128 million% of 10 grand. If you had this algo back in 2009 and you traded Bitcoin, you would be on a yacht somewhere, I assume, somewhere doing something nice. Yeah, and you could just see what it does. All right, if you do the same thing on XRP, I mean, I hold so much XRP, it breaks my heart every day. Holding XRP, should have sold at the top, but you can change it. What works best for XRP? Why? What works on Bitcoin doesn't work so well on XRP. So you've got a strategy report as well. So you could go on these things, you could see and play around with the strategy report. Obviously, manually looking at it, you know, here to here, you know, we're somehow 1% down. That's not great. We go on there, we go on the daily. Right, we go to the day chart. So if you went to the big swing trader again, what's this? It hasn't even exited the trade because it hasn't found a short yet. But I'm sure if I change this, all right, how long we got? Okay, that ups it a bit. I'll change that. Oh, so this is getting you in and out. So this gets you in and out. We've got 1,000% return there. So yeah, you can play around with it. You can see what kind of strategy report does kind of help. But you know, if you're new to trading, if you just started account, this trade right now is no good to you because you missed it. We all missed it. Well, I didn't miss it. I just didn't capitalize on it. But yeah, you can play around with it. It works on most things, but the most important thing is to stay trading safe. Learn the system. Maybe not even make a trade for the first week of having it. Learn it. See what asset you like using, and start making trades from there. Okay, and pair up and kind of see how it works. Because once you know how to read this chart, a bit like learning how to trade in general, you will be really profitable and you'll start having a lot more confidence in your trades. I've built up a lot of confidence. I've done about 40 grand this month trading mainly gold, some silver. Where before I was struggling a lot, but now I can kind of see direction. I've got got a helping hand. This should make your trades a lot more profitable. But yeah, I recommend using the 30-minute, the 5-minute, pair them up. Once you got double confirmation, you should be good to go. But we will be always updating. I'm always going to try and continue to make this algo better, because a lot of people may think, you know, why doesn't it put in a sell here? Why is it putting it here? I mean, if anyone ever made an algo where you catch the bottoms and then it tells you to you know, put a sell here, put a buy here, put a sell here, put a buy here, put a sell here, all on one time frame, you wouldn't be paying $50 a month for a system like this. You'd be paying about 4-5 grand for a system if it was that perfect. But no one really has that because it's just so hard to do. Believe me, it's very hard to do. Putting in a short here, you may think, oh, why didn't I put a short here? This is where people go wrong because it doesn't trying to guess the tops and the bottoms. You know, a lot of people, you might get lucky and put a buy on here. You might not, or you might put a sell on here. But you know, if you put a buy on here in these other areas, no system is going to be exactly perfect. So this system, is it 100% accurate? I don't think there's such thing as 100% accurate. Not at all. But it will give you more confidence and it will make you more money by holding trades and actually getting good profits rather than being in and out, in and out. Because I know you get to periods of time where you, well, I did anyway. I don't know if you guys are, but you trade 20, 25 trades in a day, just changing your mind all the time. But you know, just take time. You don't necessarily even need to trade every day. I didn't trade today because I caught this move yesterday, well, on gold. So yesterday, I made, well, this was a 17K move. I could see that, so I got the confirmation. I go, oh, I seen the 30-minute popped up of a sell, and not long after, where is it? It's this one. Not long after, the 5-minute. So I'm like, oh, the 30-minute and the 5-minute was saying sells, even though, no, beforehand, yeah, here, even though putting another buy there, but because the 30-minute already said sell, I was in, and I caught this whole move down. I did freestyle and guess back up because I knew it was going to pull back up, and I sold again, and I haven't traded since here because it's gone up and down. But you got to look at it. If you look at it from an outside, further back perspective, consolidation periods aren't fun to trade, not at all. Where are we? So all of this along here, not great. We got to move, great. Got to move back up, great. But then we got another move down, perfect. But you know these little periods of time, even these little periods, just going up and down, up and down, up and down. Everyone's you may get a win, but a lot of people are losing. Along here, a lot of people are losing. You don't like these moves. Well, no, sorry, you like these moves, but we don't like these moves. So always be aware. Always be careful of consolidation periods because it does catch a lot of people out. It even catches the algo out sometimes. But once you line it up and you learn the system, you're going to do great. This has gone on for nearly 17 minutes already. I didn't even know this is going to fit on Telegram. Fingers crossed. But I'll be making more videos explaining other things.